And then he said something like, have you ever been knocked in the head before? Because I'm about to do it to you. I'm like, he proceeds to get up from the toilet, put his hand on the wall, stick his ass out like that, and he was like, you need to wipe my ass. If I had $1 for every straight man to say things to me like, thanks for my morphine, baby. Okay, guys, as I promised, here is part 2 of some of the worst patients I've had to take care of. So hope you enjoy. Let's pick back where we left off. All right, see you soon. Bye. By the way, guys, I hope that like people are not thinking these are the actual names of the patients I took care of, because I'm a sucker for alliteration and I just picked random names to go with those adjective nouns and describing words. These are not the real names. I would never, ever, ever expose a patient's actual identity or their real name, okay? So, yes, these are random names. If it wasn't obvious enough. I'm just like so, like, I can't believe I dealt with all this crap for like over 10 years being a nurse, right? Anyway, this next lady was also a frequent flyer. This lady was very entitled, sarcastic, lazy, D, all of the above, okay? Let's call her Miserable Medication Mary. Miserable Medication Mary. She was a total assist. She couldn't do anything for herself. She basically was in the bed all day until we got her up. Like, she like couldn't do anything for herself. Miserable Medication Mary wanted to take each medication one at a time, okay? She was one of those people. So I kept her as my last patient because she was just like, every single medication, she would be like, what is this for? Like, what does this do? I've learned when giving medications, every single medication on the MAR, I would tell the patient, I have your carvedilol. This is for your blood pressure and your pulse. I have your Senna. This is your stool softener. I have your metformin. It's for your blood sugar. So I'm basically telling you what the medication is, what it does for you. So there's no like confusion. So I did that. So now I have all the medications in a little medicine cup. So I'm giving her the medication. She's looking at it and she was like, what is this for again? Girl, I just told you what it was. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you making it harder than it is? Like, you've been here for over 14 days. You've been here more than 3 times. Like, you should know what medications you're taking because you're taking the same ones at home. So like, I don't understand what the problem is, okay? So I give her it. She like is doing this with the cup and I was like, oh, Miserable Medication Mary, why don't I just like put it in your mouth? And she was like, no, I can do it. She does it, cup drops, meds everywhere.
Oh my God! Wow!
Thank God we found all of them, you know, and I'm just like, girl, like, I'm trying to help you. Help me help you, girl, okay? She was just like one of those people who like was also very entitled. She puts the light on. I go in the room. George, can I get a cup of water? Great. I'm going to go to the nurses. I'm going to go to the nutrition room. Come back, give her a glass of water. George, can I also have a cup of ice? Go back to the nutrition room. Come back with a glass of ice. George, can I also have like a snack like graham crackers? Okay, Mary, Miserable Medication Mary. Is there anything else you need from the nutrition room? Because I'm going back and forth and my patient needs me. Is there anything else you need so I can just like go one time and get everything you need? No, George, I just need the graham crackers. Thank you. Come back with the graham crackers. George, can I also have a cup of coffee? Girl, I just asked you like what else do you need so I don't have to keep going back and forth? Like, why are you doing this? Like, I don't understand like why you think this is okay to be doing. And she wasn't confused. She knew exactly what she was doing. Learn-oriented ×3. So this hospital I worked at was at a very red area. It was very red, not blue. It was very right, not left, if you're catching my drift, honey. This man that I took care of let's call him Insurrectionist Ivan. So Insurrectionist Ivan, just keeping it 100%. He thought he was better than me because he was white and I was colored. Girl. That just is what it is. And I kind of thought like, oh, like maybe that's not it. But like most of the patients, most of like my coworkers who were colored, like had the same experience with him. But like the nurses or the techs that would take care of him that were like Caucasian, like totally fine. So anyway, Insurrectionist Ivan was able to do a lot for himself. He was probably my most mobile patient out of the people that I'm talking about in this video. He could get up, he could do everything. Like he was very independent. So this person, I helped him to the bathroom. I didn't really help him. I didn't touch him. Like I just like kind of walked next to him, like a standby assist kind of thing. Like we went to the bathroom, he had a bowel movement. He proceeds to get up from the toilet, put his hand on the wall, stick his ass out like that, and he was like, "You need to wipe my ass." I'm sorry, what?
That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
So I thought that I was the only person who encountered that. Nope, actually, my nurse tech, who is Haitian and not white, she's a colored person as well, and she had the same experience. And she was like, yeah, George, like he leaned on the wall, put his ass out, and he said, "Wipe me." And she like left the room. She was like, no, like this is rehab, like you have to try to help yourself. And he could wipe himself. He could do a lot. He did everything on his own. So I'm like, why are you telling us to wipe yourself because when you go home, like you're gonna have to do that on your own. You live by yourself. I'm sorry, what? And then he said something like, have you ever been knocked in the head before? Because I'm about to do it to you. I'm like, so trashy. Just like very trashy, very entitled. I will never forget that patient. And I'm like, ugh. He was just like one of those people who had a superiority complex because he was white and he just thought that he could do whatever he wanted because like he was on the top of the food chain. I'm like, girl, like, you know what you need? You need to like, you know who we need right now? I know who we need right now to save the day and give you a Pepsi, okay? Staying with the same theme of closed-minded people, because it was at the same hospital and this area was very like rural and very like closed-minded, very ignorant. So sticking with that theme, this lady who I had to take care of, I knew something was wrong. I knew something was up because I came in to do shift report and I'm like, hey, I'm George. I'm going to be your nurse today. She looked at me, looked at the TV right away. So I was like, okay, so maybe she's having a bad day. But like in my mind, I'm kind of like, okay, there's something she doesn't like about me. Like, I don't know what it is, but she's alert and oriented. So she can't be like dialysis disaster Diego where he's confused. Like she's with it. So there's something about me she doesn't like. I just felt like I was bothering her. So I came in for her medications and I was like, you know, I have your meds for you. You know, this is what you're getting. This is what they do for you. Takes her meds, doesn't say anything. Okay. Later on in the day, I see the call light go off. I'm like, hi, like, did you need something? Okay. So this lady, I'll never forget her. Let's call her homophobic heifer Helen. So homophobic heifer Helen puts the light on. I come in and she was like,
I know what you are and I'm gonna pray for you.
I'm like, okay. See, I knew it. I knew she like either wasn't gonna like me because I was Asian and colored, or she wasn't gonna like me because I was gay.
Okay, that's good for me.
Wow, thank you. Appreciate it.
I know.
So that's what it was. So at this point, I'm kind of like disturbed because this was one of like my like first jobs out of nursing school. So I was like, I never had to like, I didn't expect that. Like, now that I'm like a nurse 10 years after the fact, like I've seen and been through a lot, so.
Don't fuck with me, fellas! This ain't my first time at the rodeo.
But as a new grad, like I didn't expect that. Like I didn't know how to react. So she puts the light on again. I come in and she was like, I swear to God, it was like a different person. She was like so like nice and compassionate and just very sweet. And she was like, George, could you come closer? And I'm like, this is weird. And this lady had cancer and she didn't have any hair on her. And so I was like, okay, maybe she has chemo brain. But then even if I went with that, that's not a good excuse. I was just basically giving her excuses to be rude. And that's something as a nurse you don't want to do to yourself, because you want to be like aware of your surroundings, bitch, because you don't know what people are capable of. So she says, George, can you come closer? So I came, like, I took like a few steps from the door. I was not close to her at all. I was nowhere near close as she wanted me to be. So she puts her hands out and she was like, George, can I hold your hand? I was like, no. And I said it just like that. Very firm, very stern. I was like, no. And she was like, okay. I just wanted to say, she says, I just wanted to say I'm sorry. And like, I didn't mean to like hurt you or like hurt your feelings or anything like that. First of all, bitch, she was trying to be like a best actress, honey. Honey, you're getting a Razzie. You're not getting an Oscar, bitch. Okay. So she was trying to like kind of backtrack and like, I'm like, girl, you already showed your true colors. Like, I don't want to hold your hand. I don't want your apology. I don't want anything from you. So I asked like one of my coworkers what happened, and she was like, okay, George, like she was okay that I would take one of her patients and she would take homophobic heifer Helen. Thank God for that, because I didn't want to deal with that. Like, I don't think I should have to. So anyway, it comes towards the end of the day, and that nurse that I switched with, she was like, George, like she wants to talk to you. She wants to apologize. I'm like, girl, no, I'm good. Thank you so much. Yeah. Like, you think that you're gonna get an apology from me and I'm gonna be okay with you now that you like gave a fake apology? Well, let me tell you something. You're never gonna get it.
Does that sound like something you want?
Yes.
Well, let me tell you, you'll never get it. Not from her.
So anyway, moral of the story is, like, just be careful. If you're gay, colored, or just not conventionally looking, I guess, like, get your guard up, bitch, okay? The perils of being a gay nurse. I need to do a video, like, how it is to be a gay nurse, honestly. But now on the flip side, you don't know how many people love having a gay nurse. Like, I've had so many like patients who loved having me as a gay nurse. Like, literally, if I had $1 for every grown straight man who called me beautiful, girl, I'd have a lot of dollars, honey. I would be making it rain, honey, okay? Talking to me like I'm a piece of meat. Like, if I had $1 for every straight man to say things to me like, thanks for my morphine, baby. I'll see you later, sweetie. Thanks for taking me to the bathroom, hun. I'm sorry, what? Like, would you talk to me like that if your wife was in the room? One time I was singing to myself and like one of the patients was like, you have a beautiful voice. I'm like, okay, you guys are doing too much. You guys are doing too much. Like, I'm sorry, but like these older straight men, like, I don't know what it is about being in a hospital. Like, I guess you lose your inhibitions, and I hope to God I'm never in a hospital for a long term, knock on wood. But like these people, like they just say whatever they want. There's no filter. And these like straight men, why are you talking to me like that? There was this one guy who was like, George, you treat me so good. You should have been my wife instead. Oh my. Okay, because like, you kiss your wife with that mouth, honey. Like, I'm sorry, but like, okay, I will say that I'd rather have someone talk to me like that than treat me like homophobic heifer Helen. Like, obviously, like, wouldn't you want to like be talked to like that instead? Obviously, yeah. Like, and I'm like, I'm like, okay, all right, George, you still got it. You still got it. You still look good, okay? Still giving. But anyway, it's still inappropriate. Like, guys, like, oh, there was this one guy who was like, oh yeah, George, like I was in the military and like a lot of my friends were gay. I made a lot of gay best friends in the military. So just let me know what your pronouns are because I'm like, I want to address you appropriately. And I was like, okay. Well, first I thought he was being funny, but then I realized he wasn't. Like he was actually a really nice guy. So I just think that you should, you know, like take everything with a grain of salt and just be on your guard, honey. Okay guys, so if you stuck around for this long, I just wanted to say thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It seems like you guys like the nursing bullying video and my I quit my nursing job videos. Like those are like bringing people to my channel, honestly. But if you're a new nurse, if you're a new grad, if you're thinking about nursing, like you're gonna encounter a lot of these patients. You're gonna encounter a lot of patients who just treat you awful and they're gonna trigger something in you where, you know, sometimes like you just don't want to deal with it. And at the end of the day, like people want to say, oh yeah, nursing, like I'm doing it for the money. Nursing, I'm doing it for the job stability. But like if that's all you're doing it for, like you have to think about it because there's going to be days where the job security and the money is not worth it. And, you know, nurses already don't get paid that well. So you have to think about that, you know. On the flip side, you're going to get a lot of awesome patients. You're going to get, I've had so many awesome patients. I've had so many awesome family members who treated me so nice. They were so grateful. The nicest people ever who just had a bad situation, you know, and they were so grateful. And that's what why I do the things I do as a nurse, why I go above and beyond, because I remember those people who treated me so nice, you know. And, you know, at the end of the day, when I have a bad patient and they were so awful to me, I still come back the next day resilient, honey, because no one's gonna bring me down, bitch.
Brush my teeth every morning, spit it out. I go like this in the mirror, and I lean forward and I pause. And I say these words, pretty bitch.
I will be like calling my supervisor after my shift and be like, hey girl, like I don't want room 215 because it's just not working out between us, and they'll give me a new patient. Be a nurse because there's so much more to it than just bad patients. So ultimately, like it's easier said than done, and you're gonna have to find your own way in this profession. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.